What's up, communities? It's Tim. So, Bill over at the Vinylverse, awesome channel. Go check him out. He put up a thread a few days ago, and I meant to do this sooner, just didn't have a lot of time. And he had asked the question of songs that maybe people have missed, or we should all hear. I kind of ran with that a little bit, thought it over, and I pulled out a couple records. One of them is in my top 10, and it's popular to a smaller scale, but we'll talk about that. So I wanted to look for things that might have been easily missed. Maybe things were forgotten. So I've got 3 albums to show, and let's just jump in. So this is the first one I pulled, and to me, it just doesn't. This is just a fantastic album. This is Buddy Miles, Them Changes. Buddy famously was the drummer for Jimi Hendrix in the Band of Gypsies. Is what the next iteration of Jimmy's evolution in music was going to be. Famously, they played Them Changes at the Fillmore East shows December 31st, 1969 and January 1st, 1970. So that song, well known. Obviously, we know what happened to Jimmy. But at that point, Buddy had a lot of connections, so decided to go ahead and he put out a few albums before he passed. So I don't know where this falls in. I do apologize for that. So solid album overall. A lot of different sounds overall on this album. Does a cover of an Otis Redding tune, Your Feeling Is Mine, great stuff. But there's 2 songs in particular that I would say anybody should go check out. He does a cover of Dreams by Greg Allman. And his take on it is very soulful. There's a horn section that's just killer, and it's the best thing I could say would be, imagine if Otis Redding had covered that song. That's kind of what you get. It's fantastic. It's soulful. It's very upbeat. Buddy, I think, didn't get. I don't think he got enough credit for just how soulful he was as a singer. The other one, and the one that I would probably rank even higher than that, is his cover of Neil Young's Down by the River. Absolutely fantastic. He sprinkles in just the right amount of soul, but keeps it kind of faithful to the original, and it's, to me, one of the better Neil Young covers I've ever heard. So 2 to listen on this one, I would say. I would attempt to do some needle drops, but family's sleeping. It's pretty late here, so go check this one out. Dreams. Well, I mean, Them Changes, everybody knows, but Dreams, and then his cover of, to me, probably the best song on the whole album, his cover of Down by the River. So my next one I actually showed not too long ago. I've had this for a little while. I'm gonna take it out of the plastic here so we can enjoy the cover. But this one I showed when I did a contest response for Memphis Vinyl Gym. This is Skull Snaps. Now, you look at the cover. Look at the back cover. Look at the inside. And you're like, there's gonna be some killer psych stuff, or possibly some rock. Skull Snaps were a one and done soul band. This one, I believe, came out, I want to say 69 or 70, and I do apologize while I look. 73, so I'm way off base here. They kind of came out of nowhere. They were from New York and went right back into obscurity after this album. Now, original presses of this go for triple figures. 1 to 130, maybe 150, could be even higher. I was pricing them until I came across a very faithful reproduction. I actually scored this for maybe 15 shipped, sealed. So I was very, very happy to get this. The big song on this, which has been sampled quite a bit in the hip hop community, which is how I was introduced to it, was a song called It's a New Day. In fact, it was so obscure that the first person to use it and sample it, a lot of people didn't even know where it came from, but his sample and introduction of it was so clean, they kind of sampled his. So, A New Day is a very upbeat, very kind of like motivationally charged lyrically song. It's one that when I put on, I don't listen to once. You know, it's 6, 7, 8 times in a row easily. Um, the whole album is fantastic. The whole album has a lot of great soul moments, a lot of great, couple like that early funk or things like that. But to me, the standout is the song "It's a New Day." Absolutely, get your rump shaking. Just it's a great tune, and even though it's been heavily sampled and possibly even recognizable, you only really ever hear the drum. The whole song is fantastic. Great horn section, great lyrics. Band is very tight, so I urge it to go online, check out It's a New Day by Skull Snaps. Then my last one, this one's in my top 10 albums all time. It's a very personal album to me. I discovered it when I was going through some personal stuff. It's DJ Shadow's Introducing, E-N-D, Introducing. So DJ Shadow, who is not depicted on the cover at all. This is either one of these or DJ Shadow. DJ Shadow is a very talented DJ, producer, beat creator, whatever you want to call it. And his take on sampling was very interesting in the sense that it wasn't just to make some sort of like repetitive loop beat for somebody to rap on. That really wasn't. He did that. Let me say that he did that, but he also thought that there was something else to sampling. There was something more to it, and he found himself creating these sampled compositions, almost giving birth to trip hop. And the reason why I say that is DJ Shadow took the idea that there were these collection, let's say, of like maybe 50 or 75 classic breakbeats that have been used over and over and over and over and over again in hip hop and sampling and things like that. And then that started to branch out from there, but it was kind of staying in a couple of lanes. And he purposely took a very hard left. He didn't want to use what everybody else had or used. He sought out the obscure. He sought out that record at the bottom of the stack that was probably going to sell for a couple of bucks. He looked for something special in the most obscure places. In fact, there's a song on here that samples a song from a group, Nirvana, and everybody freaked out because they're like, what's this song from Nirvana? We don't know that song. And he actually had to say, you know what, there's been more than one band named Nirvana. He was very much influenced by the 2 albums by David Axelrod, Songs of Experience and Songs of Innocence. And you can hear that in the way he builds his compositions. He has a foot in hip-hop, he has a foot in jazz, but he's also got a hand in soul and a hand in psych. that's a pretty good combination. To me, this album is a masterpiece. To me, this album has really no flaws. But the song that I always play to introduce everybody to DJ Shadow is a song called Midnight in the Perfect World. It's very haunting. It's got a foot in that psychedelia. It's got a foot in minor key jazz. You can hear the word, I guess the word I'm looking for is you can hear sorrow in the track, and it actually samples the aforementioned David Axelrod. He uses a piano piece that David Axelrod had on the, I think it's the Songs of Experience album that he uses brilliantly. With DJ Shadow, it wasn't just about taking a piece of music and cutting it and, just putting it out there and looping it. He listened to make sure things were in key. They were the right tempo. If I had to slow it down, did it make sense? If it was too forced, it wasn't the right thing. He also took a very strong opinion or approach to drums. He would sample them separately. He would sample space to give it a more richness, not crisp and cold and hard. He created literally a new way to sample. Evident on this album, evident in his work, but a lot of people, I think, should check out. His catalog may not be for everybody, but this is probably his most accessible, and it's his most successful album for a reason, because I think that he really challenged a lot of people on how we view sampling. And I know a lot of people don't appreciate that, and I get that. I am not one to say that how you should view music is right or wrong. But if you are interested in those lanes that I talked about before, with a little bit of the psychedelic, a little bit of the funk soul, a little bit of the jazz, give that song, Midnight in a Perfect World, a chance. Go online. There's a video. You don't have to watch the video. I think the video is fine, but it doesn't really add or subtract to the track. But I think the song stands on its own with its own merit. There's a reason why I enjoy it, and it's because it's great. It's a fantastic atmospheric instrumental piece, as the whole album is, in my opinion. Give it a try. See what you think, because that's what we're all about. Trying to figure out the new, figure out something we haven't heard. It's that excitement when someone says, "Hey, you might like this," and then you find out you do. If I'm wrong on all three, then hey, I'm wrong on all three. I'm pretty sure most everybody will find something that I just mentioned here pretty interesting. I thought this was a pretty interesting topic in itself, Bill. I think it's important to keep talking about the things that excuse me, the things that we ourselves enjoy that maybe not everybody knows about. There's value. Excuse me, I haven't been feeling well, and it's not a cold. I don't know what it is. It's just but anyway, back to what I was saying. I think there's value in continuing to share those things that may not be the normal. We can all say, "Hey, here's a copy on XL at Main Street." We're gonna go, "It's a great album," and we move on. And that's important to say, "Hey, I picked this up and add to my collection. I'm with everybody else." But I think it's also important to share that thing that maybe you did a blind buy on and you really fell in love with it. Or, hey, I know we all play this album, but man, track 7, it's a masterpiece. It's a great song. It speaks to me. I think it's an interesting topic to keep revisiting. So thanks for bringing this up, Bill. That was fantastic. And I'm saying that word way too much. So anyway, it's late. I got some things I got to get done. I've actually got to do another video before I go to bed. So I'm going to cut this off here because I'm rambling on way too much. And I apologize, but apparently that's what I do. So everybody, thanks for watching. I appreciate every like, every comment, every sub. I love you all. You've shown me nothing but fantastic love since I've been here, and it really does. It really is appreciated. I'm speechless. Apparently not, because this is 15 minutes. So, anyway, have a great evening. Thanks for watching. Take care. Peace.